Thank you, viewers, for staying with us, and we continue more interesting conversations. Live in studio with me this morning is Natasha, second chairman of the Tobago People's Party, and we are going to be talking about the presentation of their candidates, and a convention will be held on Sunday. So we'll hear more about the candidates, the process, where it is, what can we expect on Sunday. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, my dear, and good morning to Tobago, good morning to Trinidad, to the region, to everyone tuned in.
And of course, you cannot see Miss Second's feet, but she is rocking her socks this morning, all right? So we thank you even for being, aware and supporting the cause. And again, viewers, I'm going to mention it again every time I say rock your socks. Let it not just be on March 21st. Let us be more. See what the schools who has the children need. Support them, whether you can volunteer time, give a financial contribution. Those of you who selling the socks and making $1, give a little bit to one of the institutions or organization that supports Down syndrome causes. Don't keep everything to yourself. After all, you're making the dollar by riding upon their campaign of rocking your socks. Just think about it. I can't make you do anything, but just think about it. All right, Miss Second, let us talk about the business of the few minutes that we have. Now, we are in election mode, full swing. The date was declared April 28th. Of course, the Tobago People's Party would have earlier said that they are contesting Tobago East, Tobago West in the national elections. We know when it is now. Just bring us up to date where we are. I know that the Tobago East candidate was announced. What's going on with Tobago West? So bring us up to speed.
Wonderful. Thank you for the opportunity. So on Sunday, the 23rd of March, we're going to be doing a special convention for the TPP where all of Tobago, everyone is going to be invited. You can physically attend. I'll give some details in a minute. One of the highlights of that gathering will be the presentation officially of the two candidates in the Tobago East and the candidate for Tobago West to contest the upcoming election, which the newly minted Prime Minister, Stuart Young, declared to be April 28th of 2025. So we have already identified who our Tobago East candidate is. It's David Thomas. He's already on the ground, and his campaign team, along with all of the members of the Tobago People's Party, are already on the ground. The Tobago West candidate, which everybody is waiting on with bated breath and anxious about, will be revealed on Sunday. So we just have a few hours to have that declared. Now, there's something I want to clarify. Some persons may think that the two candidates who would have been nominated before for that position were rejected.
Remind us who those two candidates
are. So those two candidates were our sitting secretary, Trevor James, Assemblyman Trevor James, for the Scarborough-Mongrist district, and public servant, long-standing established public servant, Barry Nelson. Both of them remain in the pool. The executive simply mandated the political leader based on different discussions with the action groups in the West Council, because parties have structure, and all of the action groups and district councils in the West would weigh in and support the screening committee and the political leader in this election. So it was simply mandated to add or to increase the number of proposed candidates. So that whole screening process has continued, and on Sunday, we will declare both candidates and present them.
And I'm glad you also cleared that up, because, a lot of us, without having information or context, the language is, well, those two candidates were rejected. But I clearly remembered interviewing the chief secretary in his office a few weeks ago, where explaining the process is that not because you put yourself forward or the party group has you means that you will necessarily be the pick, because again, the committee can say, let's get more persons, let's go out again and see what's happening and review again. So I'm glad that was cleared up, because the old talk on the ground is, so thank you again for clarifying that. So is it that the candidate has already been selected for West and you all are just waiting to make it public, or we still have, committees still meeting that will take place by Sunday so it can be revealed?
So we're not going to reveal exactly what is taking place internally within the political organization because we are in a competitive environment. What we're going to say is that we are all looking forward to the exciting declaration and presentation of both candidates who will be speaking at our special convention on Sunday.
What else can those who will be attending on Sunday expect? In addition to the revelation of the two candidates, well, we know one already. The second one will be revealed then. What else is on the agenda?
So we have a number of excellent speakers who are going to bring Tobago up to speed with all of the current affairs that are taking place and essentially launch the campaign for the Tobago People's Party. We know that the people are anxiously want to know if we're ready. We're fully prepared. We want to present all aspects of the party and of our campaign so that they understand that they can trust us and they can be comfortable to know that we are able to deliver a full-blown election in this short and very heated election season. So we're going to have speakers who will include our candidates, obviously our political leader, and a number of persons are looking to see what he has to say about the disrespect that was levied against all of Tobago during the opening of the new airport recently, when the chief secretary and no member of the assembly was allowed to speak, etc. And the way they behaved, the laughter, the cajoling, the blatant disrespect. So we're looking forward to hear the political leader, who is the sitting chief secretary in the Tobago House of Assembly, what he's going to bring to the table to explain to Tobago about that context of disrespect. We are also going to see the party's executive. The last time we would have spoken about that was during our internal election. So we're going to see everybody. We're going to see all of the additional arms, the Women's Council, Men's Council, the leaders of our Welfare Committee, Legal Committee, Operations Committee, etc. And it's going to be a wonderful time for family. We want everyone to come out. You mentioned the rocking of the socks. For us, inclusion is a real living, breathing system that requires support, and we want you to understand that if grandpa is in a wheelchair, granny is on crutches, somebody is dismembered, somebody has some kind of different ability but they want to attend, bring them. We are facilitating them in the space at Ravenel's, so bring them out. Our ushers, who are very expertly trained, are going to welcome them and take care of them for the session. So you mentioned location, so tell us location, time, so we know it's Sunday, so tell us location and time. So we are going to Ravenel's to be seated at 4 o'clock. We're going to begin the proceedings officially and promptly at 4:30. Right next door, adjacent to Ravenel's, there's a nice car park there. We're cleaning the grounds right now, cutting the grass and so on, and preparing it so that your cars could be parked safely there. Security is going to be provided to ensure that your property, your limb and your life would be secure and safe. We want to ensure that once we arrive, we enjoy the entire proceedings. It will be a period of jubilation for the entire family. Some people are of the perspective that the Tobago People's Party has no place in contesting a national elections. What's your response to that? I think that's a wonderful question. We must have a place in contesting the national elections. The fact that the two positions that we've had, the MPs for Tobago West and Tobago East, have taken a party position on many positions such as autonomy for Tobago and stalled it and stymied it and delayed it, has affected our lives as Tobagonians in a very negative way. Today, people are celebrating Down syndrome by wearing rocking socks items. But in reality, anybody can become disabled at any point in time. You may lose a limb in an accident or so. What are the systems and the facilities in Tobago to be able to provide these expensive prosthetic limbs to persons? We do not have enough funding coming through our DP system in order to support families by giving them financial aid that exists in the United States and in different kinds of countries. Autonomy and the amount of money that you get every year around September when we have the budget impacts all of our lives. The people who are seated at the table in Parliament include a Tobago East representative and a Tobago West representative, MPs, senators. Those persons have to bring forward the situations in Tobago that are affected by policies nationally. So what Tobago actually needs is Tobagonian MPs seated there with a Tobago positioning, understanding the way policies affect our families, our communities, our lives. So we definitely must be there. Our voices cannot be silent in a national election.
And of course, when we look at the candidates who we know for the other political parties, I heard Mr. Watson Duke announced that he's the candidate representing his political party for Tobago East. We know for the Tobago People's Party, it is Mr. Remind me his name.
For the East?
For the East.
We have David Thomas already declared.
Right,
Tomo.
good. And we have for the PNM, Miss Ayana Webster Roy. When we look at the West, we know we have MP Shamfa Kajol Lewis, who is going back in that area, and we know she's a person who has always been on the ground. She's always working her communities and her district, and everybody is waiting to know who's lining up against MP Shamfa Kajol Lewis. So we all wait. Whether you are TPP or not, the information affects us. It has relevance to us who live in this island, whether you're Tobagonian, Trinidadian, it's Trinidad and Tobago. So of course, we all wait to hear that announcement on Sunday. And for those of you who are members, and can non-members come this convention?
Beautiful question. We want everybody there. Once you're physically able, we want you to come. So you can be members, you can be supporters. Apart from those who will be physically there, it's going to be live streamed.
Okay.
So all of the main channels, whether it's Channel 5 Tobago Updates, Radio Tamarind, all of the main streams of media and social media will bring the event live. So we want everybody there. If you're physically located in New York, in Miami, in Italy,
you can still be a part of it
still
virtually.
Participate. So we want everybody there because the message is a Tobagonian message. You mentioned that we're looking for somebody to run against Shamfa. That's not our objective at all.
Okay. So
No.
tell us.
Our objective is to dethrone the PNM and all of the pillars that they have left Tobago with, crippled Tobago with. And we are going to be emphasizing that reference that Dr. Keith Rowley made during that airport opening, where he described us as 60,000 crabs in a barrel, who constantly we song like rah, rah, rah. We don't make sense, we're invisible, we're pointless, we have no direction, and we're encased. The PNM encased Tobago.
Right.
The PNM encased Tobago with a number of policies that were very divisive and policies that led to the underdevelopment of our island and our people. And so the Tobago People's Party is a movement of all persons from all different parties and from places that never voted before, persons who never had any experience in politics. We are a Tobagonian team, and we are coming to take power back for Tobago and to usher what he describes as the crabs in a barrel into a direction of success so that we can all enjoy what it means to be the greatest little island on the planet.
Right.
So it's a call for Tobago to rise up against an oppressive system that can only lead to our continued underdevelopment and disrespect of Tobagonians. So we're not looking at the individuals that we are competing against.
Right, right. Well, you heard it clear and loud from Natasha, second chairman of the Tobago People's Party. And of course, you are all invited to the presentation of their candidates at their convention on Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Be seated by 4 p.m. and it's at Rovenel's Hotel. That's on Storby Local Road. Popular, so I know many of you know where it is. If you're a visitor and you want to stop by, you can just Google it. I'm sure you'll find the directions. So you heard it right here on Tobago Updates Television. And of course, I would encourage you, you know, as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, as a resident of Tobago, to pay attention, whoever your political preference may be. Plan to exercise your civil responsibility, and it's a responsibility. Try to be well informed, make up your mind. Don't allow anybody to coerce you in a particular direction and you're not comfortable with, because we know there have been experiences told of persons who may have been in those unfortunate situations. But stand up for whatever you believe in, and remember, at the end of the day, We all have to live here in Tobago. We all have to exist here in Trinidad and Tobago. All right, viewers, so thank you so much for staying with us this morning. We know we started off with a little bit of a technical difficulty, but you stayed with us and we do appreciate it. It is Friday, the start of the weekend for many of us here. Be safe. And yes, I want you to remember you are indeed your brother's keeper. So let us look out for each other. All right, stay safe and have a blessed one. New dawn and as the passion start to rise.